Abraham was a man of great faith, known as a friend of God. He lived a long, adventurous life filled with promises and challenges. But one day, he faced the ultimate test of his faith, one that would push him to his very limits. This is the story of Abraham and Isaac. Years before this moment, God made Abraham a promise. "Look up at the sky," God said, "and count the stars. If you can, so shall your descendants be." Even though Abraham and his wife Sarah were old and had no children, Abraham believed God's promise. When Abraham was 100 years old, Sarah gave birth to their son, Isaac, their miracle child, the one they had waited for all their lives. Isaac was the embodiment of God's promise, the hope for a great nation to come. Abraham's heart must have shattered at those words. Isaac, the son he loved more than anything, was now the one God was asking him to give up. It didn't make sense. Why would God ask this of him? But Abraham had learned one thing over the years: to trust God, even when things didn't make sense. Early the next morning, Abraham got up, saddled his donkey, and took Isaac with him. For 3 days they journeyed towards the mountain. Abraham's mind must have been racing, his heart heavy with every step. But still, he pressed on, trusting in God's plan. At the foot of the mountain, Abraham turned to his servants. "Stay here with the donkey while Isaac and I go up there. We will worship, and then we will come back to you." Isaac trusted his father, just as Abraham was trusting God. They reached the top of the mountain, and Abraham built an altar. With trembling hands, he placed the wood, and then gently bound Isaac, his beloved son, laying him on the altar. As he raised the knife, ready to make the ultimate sacrifice, Abraham's heart was breaking. But just as he was about to bring the knife down, at that moment, Abraham saw a ram caught in a nearby bush. God had indeed provided. Abraham untied Isaac, and together they offered the ram as a sacrifice to God, thanking him for his mercy. God's test was not to harm Isaac, but to see the depth of Abraham's trust. Through his obedience, Abraham showed that he was willing to give up everything for God, and God, in turn, reaffirmed his promise. This story isn't just about sacrifice, it's about faith and trust. It teaches us that even in the most challenging moments, when we can't see the whole picture, God has a plan. Abraham named that place, "The Lord will provide." A reminder that God is always with us, even in the hardest of times. So, when life tests your faith, remember Abraham and Isaac, and know that the Lord will provide.